And welcome back to Horse Racing Radar TV for Horse Racing Today with myself and the terrific Hollywood Hay on my left. But he's really on my right. Something like that. I don't know how all that works, but it's crossed up backwards and sideways. Coming back to you after a solid day of Parx yesterday. I think I had 3 of the 4 pick 4s. Most of the bets won. So, hey, it was a profitable day, and that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I was disappointed. My best bet of the day is it had so much trouble in that race, just really made it impossible for it to finish better than it did.
Yeah, I was disappointed too because then I would have had all 4 pick 4s. But
yeah,
never mind. And it's always the next horse. But I think there was only 3 horses in that race. So what are you going to do? Today, it's another day. Terrific Terry Tuesday. It is fast today, not muddy as it was yesterday at Parx. Of course, always free picks today. Guaranteed tip sheet. There's a link in the description on YouTube. And as well as I think you can find it over on X. If you're joining us for the first time, please hit the subscribe and like button. Comment. Let us know your thoughts for the day. Today's free track of the day is Will Rogers. The track is fast, and I felt like there was a good mix today of long shots and good best bets. For example, Taka taking out that 3 to 5 in the opening race. So let's see if we can do that with the best bet. Again, a link in the description on YouTube and on Twitter. We're here to talk not about Will Rogers, but we're here to talk about Parx, Terry. So take it away for race number 1 and all the details.
All right. So in race 1 at Parx, we're going to start out at 6.5 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, $21,000 purse for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 3 races.
Yes, sir. And at 6.5 furlongs, if you want to find the winner circle, the profile of a winner favors horses with early speed a lot. And I mean a lot. 35% of them get the first call at the quarter-mile marker, and they get the last call at the 3/4 and a half furlong mile. Or in other words, the final wire. The inside 3 get an edge. 4 through 7, a bit of a discount. 8 and out are fair in terms of post positions. We do 1,000 simulations around here, Terry, to get the best chance to see who has the opportunity to get the lead. So, well, take us through all of this data, my friend.
All right. Well, if you can take a look there, you can see that 8 and 10 have really similar data numbers. So they could go head-to-head to that quarter pole. And according to the what we have here, the 4 has the best or has an overlay from 7 to 1 to 10 to 1 on the odds overlay. And then the 9 is from 7 to 1 to 12 to 1. All but the 11 have par numbers, and that's par means that they've either equaled or exceeded the speed of 80 in this race here. And then all but the 5 and 10 have a chance today to also exceed or equal today's par, their par plus numbers. And all of them have C zones. The 9 has the best jockey. The 1 has the best trainer, and I believe the 1 is the best trainer jockey combination.
Indeed. And our race shape here, because we do trip handicapping too, a lot of the horses to the right, that tells me this race should favor this is horses that want to be on the front, horses that want to close, everything in the middle. NC means not within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. So get to the front. You got a good chance to perhaps stay there around the track. We do see here Kopich, the 4 horse, with a 5-point speed figure advantage. 5 points, again, it's important to remember, equals about 1 length. That means about 1 length better on the speed figure. Andrew Beyer says a 3-point edge is usually enough to get the job done. The 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're the top 4 total pace horses, usually 7 out of 10 winners. It should touch more than that coming out of that quartet. Terry, share your quartet with me.
Well, I like number 2, Humble Joe. He finished in the money in 3 races out of the last 5 starts, winning one of those races, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then the 7, Go East, my second choice. He ran second versus similar in his last race. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Good reunion. The 3 is my third choice. He has a high percentage winning jockey and is 1 for 1 at today's distance. Then the 4 is my long shot, ran second versus similar in his last race. He has a highest last speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. No additional bets in this race for me.
Yes, I'm going to start with the 2 horse 2, Humble Joe. That one, last race, was better than it looks. Ran about a second faster. is, the biggest class dropper in the race. You can see that right here in our sheets, a link of which is available on the YouTube description. So make sure you click on that. Good Reunion, that is the 3-horse. That's next on my list. Second race after track dropping from Naira. I expect this horse to push forward today and have a better effort. Cokefish is that top last race speed figure horse that was 5 points better than everybody else and just missed in its last race. And then Go East, just missed last out too. Has a chance to be at its best in the classic third start after a layoff. We have $100 that we can spend however we like. I call it Benny and the Bets, as in Ben Franklin. I'm going to put $12 of that 100 to work in a 2, 3, 4, 7 trifecta box for $12. And they're not all that far away from getting going. So if we're looking at, let's look on our sheet here, Terry, at the odds right now. If we're looking for some value, well, the 2-horse not providing any value. The 1-horse, Scamp Walker, we have it at 5-1. It's 17-1. So some really nice value there if that's what you're looking for. And they're about to get going in race number 1. So let's take a look at how the sunny day goes. Jessica Paquette about to tell the rest of the world what's going to happen. We can't share that with you, but I'll share with you what I see with a superior race call for sure. Bunch of horses for the opener, Terry. They're all lined up. They're all ready to get going, just waiting for the starter to press the buzzer. He's waiting for all the horses to calm down. A few of them tossing their heads around. The button is pressed, and the horses are racing. You have the 7 right now, along with the 8, it looks like, darting out to lead. Although the 10, the Buffalo Girl on the outside, really making an effort to clear. Might be tough to do, but the 10 has made its way in front of everybody as they move down the backstretch, although the 7 on the rail, trying to keep everybody intact, pushing everybody to the outside. So you got the 7, long shot, the 8, 10. They got a lot of prices up at the top. A little bit maybe quick in the opening quarter in 22.97 seconds. The 7-horse, that's 7-1, and that one's decided it wants to get going. So it's darted to the front with the 25-1 riding shotgun. Really nobody making a big effort right now. It does look like the 3-horse is coming the quickest of the horses in the back of the pack. The 7 and the 10 continue to duke it out up front. It looks like the 7 is going to force that 10 wide. And down the stretch they come. The 7, the 10, the 7, the 10. Nobody else really coming up here. It looks like somebody in between horses is going to give it a roll down the end here. I don't know who that is. It looks like it's going to be the 3-horse perhaps coming home. Yeah, I wish I would have had somebody else in there because it's going to go 7, 3, 7. Should have just did the exact, the 3, 7, and then the 10-horse. So once again, speed getting out to the front there and hanging in there. So we had the exactas between you and me. 2-horse just didn't show up. Humble Joe with a bad effort today as your 9-5 favorite. Wonder what happened to some of those other horses. Just didn't break well, I guess.
Yeah, the 2 looked sluggish to me during the race. So
yeah, maybe had a little too much oats for breakfast this morning.
Could be.
Well, I should have put the 10 in there, Terry. Carbonite, but I did it. All right, anyway. Was that next on my list? I don't know what was next on my list. Probably was. Nah, he was down a little bit. All right. Next up is race number 2, which will be the first of 3 pick 4s today. Terry, what are the conditions for race number 2 today?
It's a 6 furlongs, a maiden claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, purse $19,000 for maidens, fillies, and mares, 4-year-olds and upward.
So for 6 furlongs, speed does dominate at 39% of the time. The horse goes gate to wire. That's a really big number. There's a real bonus for Yes, My Lady Lino. 2 and 3, though, that's the best post position to have. 4 and out, they get a discount, although a little bit further from the rail is a little bit better. Once again, we'll take a look at our data in race number 2 to get a sense of who has the best chance to set the tone early on.
Yeah, you can take a look there. That one has lots of speed according to the data. Gets a clean break and good decisions. Should go to that quarter pole first. 2 has an overlay from 3-1 to 5-1. The 8 has an overlay from 3-1 to 7-2. The 4 and 8 are the only 2 that have either equaled or exceeded the par number of 67 for this race. And all but the 5 show that they have a possibility to do the same. to exceed or equal the par number. They're par plus horses. And all but the 3 and 5 have comfort zones, especially the 1, 4, and 8. They have good numbers. And the 4 has the best jockey, best trainer, and I believe the best trainer jockey combination for this race. And hello, Don Johnson and Private Ross.
Yes, good morning. So just do a little bit of time here to explain a few things. C zone is our comfort zone. That's down here, comfort zone. What we do is we compare the early pace of the race, and then we look at the horse's best performances to see how closely today's race will match their best performances. So that means in 690 out of 1,000 simulations, yes, my lady Lino, today's race should mirror its best performances. Terry talked about the opportunity to hit par. Right here, again, we do 1,000 simulations with our own proprietary formulas to get a sense of how often a horse has a chance to hit or meet that 67 speed figure. So case in point here, we got 22.7% of the time faux pas. So 227 out of 1,000 times faux pas in our simulations did indeed hit par. Here we're looking at our last race pace numbers internally. You can see the 8 horse on Paradise Hill in the beginning, in the middle, and the end improved its pace. That's usually a good sign. And over here with Yes, My Lady Lino, that front runner type, not only did it show better early pace, but its fractions were a little bit quicker. And then over here, it lets you know which horses are moving up or down in class and by how many lengths. So the one horse with all that early speed dropping 1.6 lengths, a little bit more than a length and a half. We also find a first-time starter for the first time today in Silver Kitty Caddy. That was a Silver City Kitty. All right. 2.21 out of 3-point scale. Ordinarily, we're looking for horses with 2.5 or more. The key thing to look at for first-time starters is have any hit the par number. That's what we're looking for there. Let's talk about some other things that we usually talk about. Our race shape. This time we have the opposite of the triangle we got last time, which usually favors horses that come from off the pace because most of the speed is forward. If you're looking for the late pace, you're going to find that right here. Looks like the 2, the 5, and the 7. They offer up the most hope at the end of the race. Again, our top 4 total pace horses here with the 8 at the top of the list. And the 8 also scoring 11 speed points more than the next closest horse. That means a lot of these horses, Terry, have to improve a lot, or that one has to go backwards. Is it going to go backwards, or is it going to others chase them down?
I don't know about that, but the 8 is my first choice on Paradise Hill. Ran second versus similar last race. She has the highest last race speed rating. She has a high percentage win trainer. Now, this trainer wins 19% of the maiden claiming races that he has a horse competing in, and she has a high percentage winning jockey as well. Street of Paris, the 4 is my second choice. Ran third in her last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 37% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Bahamian Baby. Bahamian Baby, yes. The 7 finished third versus similar in her last race and can handle the distance. And then the 1, Yes, My Lady Lino. She drops in class today. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 31% of the races when taking a horse down 2+ classes. She's my long shot. I'm going to play the first Miami Vice pick 4 for John Johnson. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8 with the 5, 6, with the 1, 3, 6, 7, with the 10, 11, a $48 ticket.
I'm going to start with the 8 horse in here with that 11-point speed figure advantage. All of the race internals on top were better across the board. Also has a par run. So does the 4 horse, Streets of Paris, class dropper. Second race after coming in from the Kentucky circuit. Speed and fade in its last race will be better in the second start. Number 3, Silver City Kitty. That is that first-time starter. You got to give it a chance because after the 8 and 4, nobody else has hit par. And right now, the bettors on the ground have that one as your 6-5 favorite. Not in my pick 4, so perhaps a mistake on my behalf. And then finally, the 1 horse, Yes, My Lady Lino. All of that early speed, all of that race improvement, along with the fractional improvement. Look out for that one. I'm going to do a 50-cent pick four. I'm just going to go with the 4 and 8. I have the first time beater beats me. It beats me. 3, 4, 5, 6 with the 1, 5, 6. With the 1, 8, 10, and 11, mine's a $48 ticket. And I'm also going to do a $1 exact key box 8 with all. You know, what's funny, Terry, is you left out the 5. So maybe it'll go 5, 8 for me on my exacta box.
Could be. You never know.
Yeah, that's always the way it works for me, unfortunately. Let's see. John Egan, race 2, likes the 2, the 6, and the 4. So all of the even number horses except for the 8. So thank you. Should put the 8 in there too, just to keep it up. We're going to go off to race number 3, Terry, and we will discuss the situation here as well.
All right. Well, we're going at 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $20,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since December 18th.
Yeah, and again, 6 furlongs requires you're fast, about 4 out of 10. Get to the lead, keep the lead, and they never see the backside of another horse. As far as post positions are concerned, the inside 3 have it the best, with 2 and 3 being the most dominant positions. 4 and out, they have to work a little bit harder with those outside posts, particularly if there's speed to the inside. Terry, does our data show us any speed to the inside?
Yeah, that 3, it's got a lot of speed. It should get out of there cleanly and get to that quarter pole first. All but, and then as far as the overlays go, the 3 has an overlay, only one I see, 2 to 1 to 5 to 1. And then as far as par numbers, all but that the four have either equaled or exceeded an 86 speed number for this race. And the 4 came within 2 points of doing that. And then all of the horses can do it in this race, either exceed or equal the par plus number. And then all the horses show comfort zones, especially that 6. And then the 5 has the best jockey, the best trainer, and I think the best combination for this race.
And we get a very balanced race in here with 2 that want to be on the lead, or what I call pilots. You have 1 co-pilot in the 7. The 6 horse here, that one is perhaps a dangerous horse because it's the lone PC. PC horses can really be anywhere on the track. Usually they're middle back, but if need be, they can go forward too. The 2 and the 4 are your closers over here. Looking at the class moves, we find that the 5 horse is your only class dropper, about a half a length. Most of the field here has shown some improvement last out, although the 4 horse, better early pace, better fractions. The 5 horse, all of the numbers across the board better from a pace standpoint, a little bit quicker fractions. We do see over here that a horse perhaps with the biggest in-race advantage is the 2 horse at the end of the race. Again, 5 points equals about 1 length. So a little bit more than a 1 length late pace edge over the rest of the field. So if all these horses go too fast, 2 horse will be licking its chop. Our top 4 total pace horses are the 5, 6, 2, and 7. Terry, any of those your top pick?
Yeah, I like the 6 up against it. He ran 3rd versus in his last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 30% of the race of bringing these beaten favorites back, drops in class today, switches to high percentage winning jockey. And then number 5, is my second choice. He finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance, drops in class today. He has a high percentage winning trainer, and he has switches to high percentage winning jockey Paco Lopez. Awesome for sure. The 4th, my 3rd choice, ran 2nd versus similar in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 2, Disturbed, is my long shot, drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. No additional bets for me here.
Looks like we're on the outside looking in, Terry. We got William Ricardo Lopez Perez with the race 2. He said, hey, the 777, he's rolling. And then John also liking the 7 in there. Oh, no, he likes the, we're 7 with the 6 and the 5. So you and I, odd man out on the long shot. I'm going to start with the 4. That's my top selection. Awesome for sure. Yes, indeed. That describes my partner. The distance is proper for this horse. 4 times out, won 3 of them. And the second was by less than a length. Rock on Luke, the 3 horse. My next call. That one, speed, fade, and then drops in class today. Another one that's running the right distance, and I put it in the right place because 4 races, only won 1 of them. And in the other 3, finished second. By far, And I mean, it's not even close. He has the most back class. He has the ability to hit triple digits on the speed gun. The 6 horse up against it did show some better pace from the middle out. A lot of times I see those horses carry that momentum over into the next start. And then there's that man, Terry, Paco Lopez, on a horse that had all that better internal race numbers last time out from beginning to end. And like you, I decided not to put a buck into this race at all. On to the 4th race we go, Terry. So it's your turn to talk about what they're running for.
Okay, we're going to stretch out to 1 mile and 70 yards. It's an optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, purse $25,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have started for $16,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $16,000, and which have never won 2 races.
John Egan going with the 1, the 5, and the 6. And the $170, the profile of a winner. Hey, yeah, it's Parx. Get to the front, you got a good chance. In fact, 5 out of 16, if my math, remember, from school in fractions, 31%, that equals, I think, go wire to wire. There is a real bonus for Heat Alert 2 and 3. They have a little bit tougher. 4 through 70, tiny bonus. 8 and out, they get a discount. So we got that accordion effect again, Terry. So if you're on the rail, you have some speed in race number 4, you probably have a better chance than most. Is that the case here?
Well, the 1 does have some speed, but along with that is the 5 and the 6. I think they could all go head-to-head to that quarter pole. Just depends who gets that best break. So, and the 1 has an overlay from 6 to 5 to 5 to 2. Only the 6 has either equaled or exceeded the par speed number for this race, which is 84. And all but the 3 and 4 have a possibility to either equal or exceed the par number, the speed number for this race. According to our data, all of them have comfort zone percentages, especially that 3. And then the 6 has the best jockey. It has the best trainer. So I believe it's the best jockey trainer combination for the race.
Yeah, he's also taken the biggest class drop, about 1 length and a quarter. So that's a pretty big class drop. You also see here another one of these races where everything's kind of heavily weighted towards the front. So if they go too fast, look out again for a closer. The 6 horse does have some of the most closing speed, also a really good chance to be up front. Perhaps one of those horses that has an excellent opportunity to go wire to wire. We'll take a look at the race speed chart for the first time today over here. This is their speed figures relative to each other in the race. And what we see here is the 6 has the most upside. And if you look at its average race, which is the red dot, its average race comes across this line. Its average race for the 6 horse is just about as good as the best for many of these other horses in here. So it looks like it'll take a very good effort from all of the other horses just to beat the average run of the 6, Terry. Can anybody do it?
Well, I like the 6, Boys of Summer. He finished in the money in 3 races out of 4 career starts, won 1 of those races. His best start speed is fast among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer as well. Heat Alert, the 1 is my second choice, finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. The Rail Post win in 21% clip. Number 7, Exclusive Dancer, ran 2nd versus similar in his last race, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer as well. And then the 3, Fully Committed, won his last race at Parx Racing. He has a high percentage winning jockey, can handle the distance. He's my long shot. I'm going to play the 2nd, Miami Vice, Don Johnson, Big 4. I'm going to use the 1, 3, 5, 6, 7 with the 1, 8, 10, 11. I'm going to single the 1 and then finish up with the 1, 4, 6, 7, 10. That's a $50 ticket.
Putting all of his money to work because we have a $50 budget, because if the folks at TVG can do it for $60, by golly, Terry and I can get it done for $50. No question about that. We should be on TVG. Forget those guys. So you know what? Everybody who's on here, head over to your Twitter account right now and then just get really profane and say, why aren't Terry and Rich on TVG? They do a better job than all those other cats up there. I think that 6 horse Boys of Summer, that's the one to beat there, Terry. We saw its average race is better than the top for most of these. Going to be the pace setter, the only horse with a par run. And we have Paco Lopez on a track dropper. I mean, what more do you need? It's probably going to go off at 4 to 5. Heat Alert, the 1 horse, just missed at this level last out, making the classic 3rd start after a layoff. Spinning Heart, the 5 horse, that's next for me. Another that just missed at this level last out and was better across the board with its race internals. So maybe a little bit more improvement today. Fully committed. Did run a Z pattern last time out. That means its early pace number was here, a little bit of a dip in the middle, and then a second win down the stretch. But it was the maiden claiming win last time out. It was the 13th race. It took 13 to win one. Can it go back to back, Terry? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it might.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go. So the rule of thumb is just on horses that are coming off the maiden win. Of course, you have that second race par ability, but when horses have run a bunch like this one has, the 3-horse 13 times, the rule is in order to back them the next time out, according to Barry Meadows in his book, The Skeptical Handicapper, that they have to have the highest last race speed figure, and the 3 doesn't qualify there. So that's why I put them fourth. So I'm going to go 1, 5, 6 with the 1, 8, 10, 11 with the 1 and 7, and then the 6, 7, 10, and 11 for my $48 pick 4. 10 races today. It's not a vacation. Back to a full day's work for you and me, Terry. So this one ends the first half of the card.
It is. It's 6 furlongs, claiming race, $7,500 claiming price. Purse is $21,000 for fillies 3-year-olds or fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
So John Egan can't be the only one that made any kind of did any handicapping today. I don't know, though, Terry, you and I do so well. You're not watching, you aren't winning. That's the new motto. That maybe the people don't need to handicap anymore. Who knows? But 6 furlongs, I think this is the 3rd or 4th one in 5 races. So we'll know that speed kills at the distance. A bunch go wire to wire. 4 out of 10, pretty close to half. The rail bonus for Swans Island, 2 and 3. Again, those are the best numbers to wear when the gates open. 4 and out, a little bit more difficult than their inside 3 counterparts. In the 5th race, Terry, do we have any inside 3 giddy up and go? No, it's all on the outside.
Yeah, it is. The 2 outside horses. The 9 has the best speed, but the 10 might have something to say about it getting to that quarter pole first. The 1 has an odds overlay of 9-5 to 4-1. The 4 has an overlay from 9-1 to 15-1. 8's overlay is 3-1 to 5-1. 6, 8, and 10 have equaled the par number or exceeded it in the past. And then let's see, 1, 2, 4, 8, and 10 have a chance to do the same thing this today's race, either equal or exceed the par number. And then all of them have comfort zone amounts, and several of them are pretty nice. And then, of course, the 5 has the best jockey. 1 has the best trainer, but I believe the 1 is also the best jockey-trainer combination.
Mm-hmm. So on the comfort zone, again, how likely this race is to match their best performances. We're typically looking for a number of 50% or better, meaning that in half of our simulations, today's race will look a lot like their best performances. Here we see the 7, not within the 5 lengths of the leader in any of its most recent races. Again, a pretty balanced race. You have 3 pilots, 3 co-pilots, 4 that want to come from off the pace. But interestingly here with the 10 horse, has enough early speed to be involved right from the get-go. We call those left arrow horses, and those horses can be exceptionally dangerous. A closer that gets to the front, a whole lot of horses in here moving up in class, a whole lot of horses moving down in class, only the 4 horse running at the same level. No real in-race advantages in here at all, Terry. And maybe the top 4 total pace is where you want to go. 8, 1, 11, and 4. Any of those where you want to go?
Yeah, I like the 11. Looking for Treasure. She won her last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the 10, Mayday Mayhem, as my second choice. She ran 3rd versus Similar in her last race as the favorite. But her trainer wins 28% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again, and she has a highest prime power number of 111.2. Swans Island, the 1 is my 3rd choice, finished 2nd in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Your Forever is the 8, my long shot. She has a high percentage winning jockey and the trainer who wins 21% of the races. Excuse me, in the first race after claiming a horse. I have no additional bets in this race.
Well, bless you, Mr. Terry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to start with the 1 horse Swans Island that has that rail bonus. Ran faster last time at 7 furlongs versus the prior start at 6 furlongs. So you run longer, but you run faster. That's like Wrigley Spearmint gum. It's doubly fast. Cutting back to 6 furlongs will help. Your Forever, the 8-horse, my next selection, does have a par race on the resume. Second race today at Parx after coming in from the Naira circuit, so I would expect some improvement today. Looking for a treasure, that's what we do Monday through Thursday in the United States, and on Friday somewhere else in the world for Foreign Fridays. But anyway, this one won its last race at Parx, did so easily, cutting back, and the distance today will be helpful too. And then the 10-horse Mayday Mayhem does have a par race, solid chance to be forward. And as we mentioned in our data sheet, the infamous, the only place you'll ever hear about a left arrow horse, right here on Horse Racing Radar TV. I have a 50-cent trifecta box, 1, 8, 10, and 11. This is a race I think can go a lot of different ways. So hopefully we can catch some good odds and a good payout. Private Ross, Terry and I like the 11th and the 5th, Rich. I got the 11th in there too. He's my third pick, my boy. I don't dislike him.
Yeah. And then Don Johnson that had to step away and he missed the 4th. Can we put the 4th up there real quick for him to take a look?
Yeah, we can put the 4th race up in there right now. Let's put that up. Race number 4. There we go. Bang. 6153 for me, 6173 for Mr. Terry. There are our pick 4s in there. Before we move on to race number 5, because race number 2, they're kind of working their way through the gates. Terry, if you want to join us, as I kind of alluded to, tomorrow we'll do Gulfstream. Thursday we'll do Gulfstream. On Friday for Foreign Fridays, where we've been smoking hot, we're going to do the Curragh in Ireland, I guess, a belated celebration for St. Paddy's Day. And in order to make sure you tune in for all that, Terry, there's one easy way to make it all happen.
Well, you need to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're watching us today and you haven't subscribed, please do that. It's easy to do and it doesn't cost anything. Then hit the bell so you get notified about all the great programs we got coming up. And then go down and copy that link, share it with everybody you know so that they can come and take a look at us. I know they're going to like what they see. Then go to our social sites such as X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Horse Race the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like. That helps us out a lot. Keep these comments and picks coming during the show, as we love to see them, and it also helps with our algorithms.
Yeah, so a couple of ways you can help the show too. If you, along with sharing our content, when the show is over, we will timestamp every race in the description on YouTube, so you can come back and watch them at your leisure. And sometime after the show is over, I don't even know how this happens, Terry, but over here you'll see, if you come to the Horse Racing Radar TV and you click on the show, over here there's 3 buttons and there's a thanks button. So if Terry hits his best bet or some of my picks come home by some great miracle, you can hit the thanks button right there, and I guess you can give us a few bucks. We'd greatly appreciate it. Don't put the arrow down here. Put the arrow all the way up there. What do you say? Right? We would greatly appreciate that help there. So it's a great way to help the show. We would appreciate it. When the show is over, another way you can help is go over to horseracingtoday.net. Right there in the middle of the home screen, we will post all of our picks, again, in our commentary, along with a race replay. Remember, we'll timestamp everything. And while you're here, hit that HRT gear. Come over and get yourself the red number 1 shirt, right? El numero uno. You'll look fantastic on the track. You'll rep Horse Racing Today like no other, and you will look your absolute best. And, of course, most importantly, Terry and I will greatly appreciate it. All right, race number 2, I think, Terry, about to get off and running. In fact, my timing was almost splendid. They are off and running. The 3 and the 1 are up on the front there. The 8-horse in the chase position, 2-horse down on the rail, the 4-horse, and then it looks like the 5 and the 7 in the back, Odie Pack. It's going to be a tough run for that 8-horse, 3 wide all the way around the track, Terry. Down around the stretch they go. I can hear Jessica Paquette, but I can't see what's happening. So I have no idea what to share with you folks other than they're racing. All right. Around the corner they come, the 3 and the 1. The 8-horse is still in the mix. It looks to me like the 4-horse is biding his time that he's going to plan on running by everybody else. But the 8-horse has galloped away, Terry, to the front Odie Pack. The question is, can they run that guy down? I think that's going to be a difficult endeavor for anybody. I'm kind of hoping that the 4-horse doesn't make its way into second at 3-5, because that will hurt my exact key box, right?
Yep.
Come on, 3, hang in there, baby.
Yeah, 3, hang in there.
You know how they do that at the track? So it goes 8, 3, 4, 2. You ever see those guys when you go to the OTB, they're yelling at the TV screen and they're snapping their fingers and stuff?
Yeah.
How does that help a horse?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
know
think it
either.
does, but I'm guilty of doing that all the time.
You do the snap?
I do the form like this.
All right. Well, since we're on things people do, I just stand there and look at the screen like an idiot, like I can't speak. But since we're talking about the different things we see at the track, in the comments section, what is the absolute funniest thing you've ever seen anybody do to kind of root their horse home? Let me know. Let us know. I think there could be some pretty funny stories. And one of the funniest things you've ever done to get your horse home.
It sounds funny, yeah.
Yeah, I see them people screaming at the TV with their. And you know, the funny thing is, the guy who's usually yelling the loudest and snapping his fingers the hardest and making the most motion. I don't even think that. I think that guy usually has like $1 on the horse to win, right?
Usually that's the way it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's like his life savings is on that horse.
Well, I wish I would have singled the 8 in there, but go ahead.
I wish I would have singled them too, Terry, because if we rewind back, I hate to be, it's a shameless promotion, but look at that 8 horse, that 11-point total. I mean, that speed figure point of 11 was also a top total pace horse. We knew it was going to be close to the pace in there. So, I mean, it was one that you had to absolutely consider off of just the speed figure. Again, this data is available in the link downstairs on the in the description on YouTube. I promise you, we're working on getting every track available soon so that you can use this data to your advantage as well at every track, because you just cannot get it anywhere else. All right, Terry, we're going to move off to the second half of the Parx card on this terrific Terry Tuesday. What you got for us?
6 furlongs, claiming race, $25,000 claiming price, $32,000 purse for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since December 18th. Claiming races for $16,000 or less not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
So, John, in race number 6, likes the 7, the 4, and the 3. So we can go for that. Again, 6 furlongs. By now, it's a refrain from a song, Too Fast. If you're slow, you probably don't have much of a chance. 4 out of 10 win on the lead. The rail horse Enforcer is going to have a little bit of a bonus, although the 2 and 3 to his outside get a little bit more octane 4 and out. They got to work a bit harder than everybody else. Speed has been the way, as usual, at Parx today, Terry. So which one's got the best chance to take the front runner status in this one?
Well, there's 3 of them that are pretty close, although the 5 has the most speed, but they could go head-to-head that quarter pole. The 7 has the only overlay I really see, which is 5-2 to 5-1. All of them have equaled or exceeded the par speed number for this race in the past, and all of them have a chance to do it again today. And then all of them have C-zones numbers, and then the best jockey would be on the 6 horse, best trainer the 7, but I believe the best jockey trainer combination is the 4. So there you go.
Speaking of the 4, it's the only one to be dropping in class about a half a length. Most of the horses staying at the same level. A couple of class risers only by about a half a length. Well, here we see it again, Terry, just like in race number 2, the 7 horse. Nay, dude. 10-point speed figure. Again, 5 points equals 1 length. So do the math. That equals about a 2-length speed figure advantage. Not only that, Terry, but it has the most late speed, so the biggest in-race advantage, and that translates to a 7 and about a 2.5 length total pace edge. So maybe, 1.5, excuse me, my math is wrong. 5. Maybe the 7 horse, much like the 8 horse, one that's going to be very difficult to contend with. Everybody's going to have to up their game to beat that one, and you think Enforcer might have what it takes to do it.
Yeah, I like the 1, though, is my pick of the day. So it's number 1 is the Enforcer. He finished in the money in 7 races out of the last 9 starts. He won 2 of those races, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Nay, dude, the 7 that you were talking about has won 2 races in a row, goes for a hat trick, and he has the highest last speed rating, likes the distance. The Normandy Hero, the 4 is my 3rd choice, drops in class today. Early speed running style helps chances. So I think the shorter distance will help today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then The 2 is my long shot. He was blocked on the turn and pushed wide, which affected his finish in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer, wins 30% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse. I'm going to bet $40 to win on number 1, a $5 exacta key box 1 with a 247, and a $10 exacta 1 on top with a 247.
Don, that's always a tough call for me. There's one horse coming up that I like a lot, just because he's got a good chance to get to the lead. I think that's in race number 8. I'm going to put 10 to win, 6 to place on the 7, 4 to 5. I think that 6 horse coming up in a race 2, the one we mentioned, I think that's in this race right here. No, race number 4. Boys of Summer is another one I think has an excellent chance to win in race number 4. For me in race number 6, Terry, I'm going to go with that 7 horse. Nay, dude. All right, got it again. 10-point total speed figure advantage. That means everybody else got to come up, or that one got to come down. Also, the top total pace, length and a half better than everybody else. Everybody else got to come up, or that one got to come down. Enforcer, same fractions at 6.5 furlongs. Then it ran at 6 furlongs. Going back to 6 furlongs. Could help that horse today. Number 3, Magnificent Moonlight. Good chance to be on, or at least better, in round number 2. I don't know what I was writing there, but hey, it makes sense to somebody somewhere. And then finally, number 4, Normandy Hero. First time we talked today about the dynamic duo of Mikel Sanchez, Jamie Ness on the only class dropper in the field. I'm going to go with that 7 horse again. $1 exacta key box 7 with all, and hope that I can catch a fat price. Come on, So's, the 5 horse. Come home first with the 7 in second. Well, I don't want that to happen because Terry's best bet today needs to come home on top too. Race 7 is the last of the pick 4s today. A lot of horses in this race, Terry, so perhaps a good chance to get off to a good start, maybe a big pick 4 possibility, and we're finally going to get away from 6 furlongs and add a half a furlong.
Yeah, that's right. It's 6.5 furlongs, claiming race, $7,500 claiming price. Purse $21,000 for 4-year-olds and upward, which have not won 4 races.
In here, John likes the 6, the 5, and the 2 in race number 7. 6.5 furlongs, like the opening race. Again, speed is the most probable way to find yourself collecting the winner's check. 35%, so a little bit better than 1 out of 3. Can't think of a great football player that wore number 35. Can you, Terry?
No, I can't.
Yeah, I'm sure there's one out there. Maybe you can help us in the comment section too. The inside 3, they're the best places to be. 4 through 7 to get a discount. 8 and out is fair. So if you wear a 1, if you wear a 2, if you wear a 3 and your screen doesn't go blank, you got a good shot, Terry, to be in the winner's circle. So in race number 7, doesn't look like any one of those 1, 2, or 3 has speed.
No, the 6 and 10 have the closest speed to one another and the most speed. So who knows if they're going to get, who's going to get to that quarter pulse first. The 2 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 10 to 1. 5 has a odds overlay from 7 to 1, 15 to 1, and the 10 has an overlay of 3 to 1 to 5 to 1. All but the 3 in the past have all but the 3 and the 5 and the 8 and 9 in the past have equaled or exceeded the par speed number for this race. But you can see there that the 5, the 5 and the 8 and 9, they actually came within 5 points. And then all but the 2 and 9 can exceed or equal the par speed number for today's races. And all of them have C zones, and most of them are pretty decent. The 7 has the best jockey, 7 has the best trainer, and I think that's the best jockey-trainer combination.
Terry, I think I got to exit out of here real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and talk about my race, my horses in the 7th race. I like number 7, What a Blast. He won his last race at Parx Racing. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like the 6 as my second choice. He ran second versus Tupper in his last race. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, and he drops class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 4, Union Lights was only beaten in length and 3/4 versus Tougher in his last start. Switches to high percentage winning trainer, wins 31% of the races in the first start with the trainer, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The number 10, Remarkable Mo, is my long shot. He ran second in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to play the last pick 4. Miami Vice picked Don Johnson. I'm going to use the 3, 4, 6, 7, 10, 11 with the 2. With the 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I'm going to single the 1, and then I'm going to use the 7, 8, 9 to finish it up. That's a $45 ticket. So
yeah, I don't know what happened. My computer just went black. You saw that happen on the screen, and then I looked better than I've ever looked when my screen had gone blank where I am at. So race number 7, we didn't talk about this data real quick. We'll do it real fast. Some things that stand out. You got this 6 horse. You can see like I'm drawing and the lines are moving all over the place. I don't know what the hell happened, but the 3-point speed figure advantage on that one. You got a whole lot of horses dropping in class. That's looks funny to me. You have that horse there as your best jockey trainer combination. It looks to me like that's the 7 horse. What a blast. Our race shape does favor speed over here, Terry, because most of these horses are middle back. So anybody who's got a chance to get to the lead, does look like the 6 might have that edge here. Also has some good late pace in there. So maybe the 6 horse is the one to beat in race number 7, Terry. I don't know. I have Remarkable Mo on top of my ticket, the 10 horse, because that one was better from the middle out last race and winner of 2 of 3 at the distance. The 6 horse, Guapo-ness, Terry, that should be the name of our show, Guapo-ness, which means handsomeness in Spanish. No question about it. Top last race speed figure, 3 points better than everybody else. Going to fight for the front and in the money 5 out of 6 races at Parx. So definitely likes the Ben Salem track. Curlin's Cruisin', the 11 horse, ran a big race last out, and it tends to pair top effort. So one of the things, I read in these, I've read way too many books on horse racing. I probably should have focused on something that pays more money. But anyhow, when you look at some of the trends horses put together, right? You see the horse ran a stinker, then came out, ran a good race, paired it up with another one, stinker, ran a good race. So I'm expecting it to pair it up with another one. That's what I mean there. So following some trends. And then finally, What a Blast. Who rides What a Blast, Terry?
Paco Lopez. No.
Paco Lopez. He's looking for back-to-back W's. Could improve in the second start after a layoff. So I'm going to go 6, 7, 10, 11 on the beginning of my pick 4. 2, 4, 7, 1, 7. Didn't have the cojones to single up the 1 horse there. And then 6, 7, 8, and 9 for my pick 4. Again, $48. Best bet of the day is the 7th in the 7 for John Egan. He's going with What a Blast. All right, Paco Lopez. Well,
he agrees with me then. He agrees with me.
It's not your best bet.
No, but he agrees that it's the best horse in this race.
Triple drop in class with Paco. Oh, yeah, baby. Let's see how much did he move down in class, the 7 horse here. What a blast. I have him actually as Steven in here. And just so I can explain how that works, at least the way I am assessing in our sheets, what is a drop in class? So as we talk about in the par numbers here, who's actually hit par for this race or who has a chance to break par. So I'm looking at on my class drops in our sheets. The speed figure here is 80, is the average winning speed figure, according to Brisnet, for this conditions today. So I'm looking at the conditions for the last race and comparing today's average speed figure to the last race's average speed figure to get a sense of who's actually moving up or down in classic. Or that's an apples to apples comparison in my view. Everybody else has the way they're looking at it. But I hope the 7 wins at 6-1. What a blast as a best bet because it should get us started on our pick 4s at a decent price. 3 races to go, Terry. Races 8, 9, and 10. Let's go with race number 8.
6.5 furlongs, claiming race, $12,500 claiming price, $23,000 purse for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
6.5 furlongs, much like 6 furlongs, favors the bold at the beginning. early speed going wire to wire, 35 out of 100 races. The inside three have the inside edge over the rest of the horses in the field. In race number 8, Terry, do we have any inside three speed? No, we find one in here that's blazing fast relative to everybody else.
Yeah, it's the outside horse, and it's really got a lot of speed compared to everybody else. If it doesn't get a quarter pole first, I'm going to be really surprised. And then the 1 has an overlay 3-1 to 5-1. The 4's overlay is 5-2 to 4-1. The 7 has an overlay from 5-2 to 9-2. Only the 4 shows that it's either equaled or exceeded the par speed number for today's race. And the 1, 4, 6, and 7, according to the data, can equal or exceed today's par speed race. And then the 1, 4, let's see, the 1, 4, all but the 5 have C zones. And most of them are in the green. That's pretty good. Then the 3 has the best jockey. The 2 has the best trainer, according to the data. But I believe the 7 is the best jockey-trainer combination in here.
And according to my methodology and the Brisnet average speed figures, all horses today going to move up in class. A couple showing some improvement. The 7, better pace, better fractions. We see a lot of them with better pace last year. In fact, every single horse has showed some improvement in that last race. Here we have a couple of horses with some in-race advantages. The 7 with all of that speed, also an 8-point speed figure advantage over the rest of the field. Also has a big in-race advantage at the start, 12-point early pace advantage. Again, 5 points, 1 length, so about 2.5 lengths quicker on average than everybody else when the gates get open. But the 6 horse has a 2-length late speed advantage. So it's going to be speed versus the closer, the tortoise and the hare. Terry, did you go with either one of them?
Well, I went with number 6, Whoosh. He's finishing the money in his last 7 races, so he's very competitive. He won one of those starts, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like Stay Funny, the 7. He ran second in his last race, has the highest last race speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. 4 Eyes, the 4, is my third choice. Finished the money in 2 races out of the last 3 starts at Parx Racing, winning one of the races. And his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Star Lord, the 3, is my long shot, trained by Scott Lake, and he has a high percentage winning trainer who's Paco Lopez. That's it for me in that race. No additional bets for me as I'm out of money.
Yeah, speed smokes at this track. So I'm going to go with that 7 horse with all of that early race advantage, all of that top last race speed figure, 9-2 odds. I'll take that as a top pick. So I'm going to put that at the top of my ticket. 4 Eyes, as we saw in our sheet, the only horse with a par run. Those horses can be exceptionally dangerous. We know that one can win at this level. Next up for me on the ticket is the amazing Woo, Terry. That one's coming in from Gulfstream Park. That makes it a class dropper track dropper for a very consistent performer in South Florida. And then Star-Lord from the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. I think the best of the Marvel series. Guess who's riding, Terry?
Paco?
Paco Lopez. Missed by a nose the only time Paco rode this horse in the last 10, and by far the best performance for that horse in its last 10. So maybe Paco is a horse whisperer for the Star-Lord Guardian of the Galaxy hero. I'm going to do a $3 exact key box 7 with all of that speed, and I'm going to pretend to win 6 to place on the 7. A weird amount, but that's what I had left when I got through with all of my bets, and figured that one would be a good one to back. 2 races to go for the late daily double for today. Races 9 and 10. Terry, before we do race 9 and 10, just a reminder, Will Rogers, free track today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description on YouTube. When you're at YouTube, after the show is over at some point, down there in that 3 button, you'll have that thanks button. Terry hits his best bet, or you just like what we do, go over there, move that slide all the way to the right, say thank you. We'd appreciate it. And then Parx Picks will be over on horseracingradartv.net, the mothership. You can head on over there. And then while you're there on the front page, you will see right there, and then just hit that link and it'll take you to today's commentary along with a replay of the show. We will timestamp all the races in the description. And another way you can help the show and look great, hit that HRT Gear button right there in the menu. Come on over here, get yourself the red #1 shirt. You will look fantastic at the track. Nobody else will wear what you're wearing. Well, very few. Maybe Terry and I and a couple of others. And you'll look great and you'll support the show. All right, Terry. You'll want to support the show more if we can figure out how to hit the late daily double starting in race number 9.
Okay, well, in race 9, we're going to go to a mile, and it's a optional claiming race, and it's $100,000 claiming price. Purse is $55,000. It's for 4-year-olds and upward. Allowance, optional claiming price of $100,000.
Yes, and John Egan going with the 1, the 9, and the 6 in the 9th race as his selections. They're going to go 1 complete trip around the Ben Salem outside of the brotherly love city of Philadelphia. Although if you're an opposing fan there, you'll get anything but brotherly love, maybe a brotherly ass whooping. If you ever seen them Philadelphia fans, it's not the friendliest. But to win at a mile around that track, what you're going to have to do, Terry, is get to the front again. 1 out of 4 win, wire to wire. There is an outside to inside bias. So as the Buffalo girls on the outside with any gas, they got a good chance. And here we go. Another one on the outside with some speed.
Yeah, the 7 should get there, I think. So we'll have to see. And then the 1 has an overlay 3-2 to about 8-5. 2 has an overlay from 3-1 to 9-2. All of them have exceeded or equaled the par speed number for this race of 94. And then all of them have a chance to do the same thing in this race. They all have C-zones, and they're all pretty nice. And then the 3 has the best jockey. The 7 seems to have the best trainer, but the 7 to me is the best trainer-jockey combination for the race.
Yeah, I don't know. 1 looks pretty solid in there. They look pretty competitive. A couple, just really no true front runner in here. A couple, 2 and 4 that can go either way. PC type, so you got a ton of versatility. All the horses but the 6 and the 8 can win with multiple running styles. Looks like the 6 and the 8 want to close. We got a couple of competing interests in here. We got the 1 horse, Awfully Cool, 7-point total speed figure edge. Again, Andrew Beyer says take a look for those horses that have 3 or more. But that 7 horse at a track where speed dominates, going to get to the lead, has more than a length early pace advantage. So the question is, will it be speed? Will it be speed figure, Terry? The 7 and the 1, they're considerably higher than everybody else in the top total pace, about 6 points clear of the rest of the field, and then a drop off from there. So maybe 7-1 and then 6-2 for an exacta trifecta box. Some order of that, Terry. What's your order of that?
I like the 1, Awfully Cool. He was finishing the money in 9 races out of 10 starts. He's won 4 of those starts. Drops in class today, has a good workout at 5 furlongs on March 11th. Then I like the 4 as my second choice. Has won 2 out of his last 4 starts. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning jockey. The 3, Treble Cliff, is my third choice. Won his last race at Penn National, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the 7 as my long shot. 2 Ducks Opportunity. He has won 5 races out of his last 9 starts. Drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me as I'm out of money.
Yeah, that 1 horse, Awfully Cool. Top last race speed figure. Loves the Parx track. Ran 7 times, won 5 of them, second and third in the other 2. So unless something goes funky, that horse is going to finish in the money. 2 Ducks Opportunity, a little bit of a long shot, 10-1, pace setter. Has all of that early speed advantage over the rest and more than a length early pace. So they get out, run easy fractions, might be able to go wire to wire with that outside speed bias at Parx. Adaro, the 4 horse. This one loves running a mile, but it's nearly an all or nothing horse. 12 times it's run at a mile, 6 of them at 1, finished 3rd, well beaten 3rd in another, and then some very good workouts prepping. I think there was one about 46 seconds in 4 furlongs. As they say, Terry, that's fast. Lonesome Boy, the 2 horse, faced a lot better horses than it is going to face today. Also has some nice works getting ready for its first race in a bit. Its first up record, though, a little bit spotty. So one of the reasons why it didn't get a little bit higher up for me. Do we have time to do race number 10, Terry? We're about ready to go to race number 3.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to get going for race number 3. Well, yeah, they're kind of in the back there. So, again, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button while you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on X, share our content by retweeting. If you're watching, usually you watch on X, Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, because we saw, a lot of people around the planet unhappy with Elon Musk. So they DNS'd his website. And YouTube has been down in the past before. That way, if one's down, you can watch us on the other. Also, Facebook, our good friend Swiss Army Sean, posting some content over there that you might enjoy. So join us over on Facebook as well at Horse Race the Number 2 Day. We're on TikTok, Blue Threads, wherever it is that you get your social media, and stay in touch with your friends. Kindly share our content so that the bots that measure your interactivity with us say, hey, the Horse Racing Today crew has a lot of interactivity. They'll boost our search engine scores. So when other people are looking for horse racing content, at least for picks, they're likely to find us, and we would greatly appreciate that. We always appreciate the comments in the comment section, so let us know your thoughts. If you have any funny short stories to share, like John Egan, any good picks to share, please do that. All right, race number 3. They're about to get popping here, Terry. The 5-horse right now, Dathos is your favorite at 2-1. They're in. And somebody's acting up a little bit in there. It looks like the 4-horse. Awesome for sure. Not good. It looks to me like the 6-horse dipped his nose at the start. The 3-horse and the 5-horse have moved their way to the front. And they have gotten pretty much an easy lead. The 5 jockey standing up on his horse. The 3 kind of sitting down a little bit. Wants his horse to go. Up against it, the 6-horse that dipped his nose at the break has gotten himself the grade into the mix, but it's not raining today, so you don't bet the grade when it's not muddy. Isn't that what they say?
That's what they say.
On the outside, you got the 7-horse at 19-1 saying these guys are going way too slow for my liking. The 4-horse, my top pick, he ain't going to finish in the money. That guy way back there, Terry. Around the turn they come as they make their way for home. The 6-horse, your top pick, challenging the 5-horse. And it looks to me like the 6 and the 5 are going to be the ones. The 2 grays, right? I said, don't bet the grays if it ain't muddy. Well, guess what? It ain't muddy. And the 2 grays up front. The 4-horse, that guy is rolling at the end, Terry, but he ain't going to catch the 2 grays. It's going to go 6, then 5, and then 2, 4. 6, 5, 2, 4. Almost the superfecta for you, Terry.
Almost.
Are we both alive on our pick 4s?
Yep.
We are both alive on our pick 4s. All right. That's a good thing to know. So we survive in advance in race number 3, just like the NCAA basketball tournament, which is coming up, folks. All right. Race number 10, a little preview. The 7, third off a layoff, shows speed in his last. That's John Egan's selection there. But before we get to our picks, Terry, we have to get to the conditions.
All right, it's 6.5 furlongs, claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since September 18th.
Yes, at 6.5 furlongs. I think it's the 3rd one in a row. Speed inside 3 speed is preferable. 4 and out have to work a little bit harder than everybody else. For the last time today, Terry, in race number 10, do we have inside 3? Well, this Buffalo Girls on the outside. Well, the 2-horse got a little bit of gas.
Well, that's true, but actually they've all got some speed here. I think it's an anyone's guess race, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. 3 has an overlay, and as far as the odds go, of 7-1 to 10-1. The 8's overlay is from 3-1 to 7-2, and the 9 has an overlay from 5-2 to 3-1. All of these horses in the past have equaled or exceeded the par speed number for this race, except for that one, which is a maybe. And the one has been within 2 points, so it's pretty close. And then all of them have a chance to exceed or equal the par number, speed number for this race today. And then all but the 4 and 10 have C zones. The 8 has the best jockey. The 6 seems to have the best trainer, but I think the 7 is the best jockey trainer combination.
Yeah, maybe the 2 in there as well. 2-horse also showing something a little bit in here that might be worthy of taking a look at. I forgot what it is at the moment, but what was it that I saw with the 2-horse? I don't remember. In any case, let's take a look at this race, Terry. You got horses all over the place showing some improvement last time out. A lot of them running better fractions, some of them moving down in class, some of them moving up in class. You have a bunch of them in here, Terry, where they are up front. A couple of other horses that want to give some pressure. So this race could be pretty fast. That 8 horse in here, Terry, that is the lone PC horse. Anytime you get a lone EP or lone PC horse, you want to pay attention to those horses because they can get just dynamite trips with a lot of other horses that are kind of pegged into the running style. So keep an eye on that Mended We Stand at 3-1. All right, Terry, when I see all of this data that's just kind of mishmash, you can go a lot of different ways. This is almost an all race. If you're looking at the top 4 total pace, that's the 8, 9, the 1, and the 2. Which ones are the right ones for you?
Well, I like PC horses, so I went with the 8 Mended We Stand. She finished 3rd in her last race at Parx Racing. She can go the distance. She has a high percentage winning jockey. Then Golden Nest, the 7, is my second choice. She was beaten 1 3/4 lengths versus similar in her last start, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Queen Cadence, the 9, is my third choice. She finished the money in 2 races out of the last 3 starts. She drops in class today, has a high percentage winning jockey, and the trainer jockey combination the last 14 days have been in the money 4 out of 6 starts with 2 wins. And then Wishing on a Prayer, the 6 is my long shot. She has won 25% of her career starts. She has a high percentage winning trainer and likes the distance. That's it for me today.
Well, we have the same exact picks. Terry plagiarizing today since I got my picks on the site first. I would say that's 1 out of 100 because Terry almost always has his picks up before me. The 8 horse, Mended We Stand, is a lone PC horse. Paco again, Terry. Been really close in the last couple races. I do worry that it may have paired peaks and might be prepared for some regression today. Goldiness on the lead, 3rd up with more upside today. The 9 horse for me, Queen Cadence. Sim favorite, class dropper, making the first start after layoff, should be coming at the end. Then I have that 6 horse, I think, Wishing on a Prayer. Might just be that, a wish on a prayer. First off, the claim for a trainer who hits at 20% for Michael Moore, although he wins at 30%. So that's a little bit opposite of an alpha angle. But the key here is if Wishing on a Prayer gets out of the gate and gets the lead, look out. Then he has a shot to go wire to wire. No additional bets for me either. Here are our full picks for today. In race number 1, Terry, I think the 4 horse one. I don't remember. No, race number 1, the 7 horse one.
That's the 7 won it. The 3 was second. 10 was third.
And then the next horse up in there was the 8 horse, and then the 6 horse just won that race.
Yep.
So all right. So today's Terry's turn to go first or second pick all the way down the list. Here are our thoughts for the rest of the day. Race number 4 is the next pick 4. Here are our pick 4s for race number 4. Race number 5, I've got a trifecta box. Race number 6, an exacta key box. Terry's best bet of the day, the 1 horse Enforcer. In race number 7, another pick 4 for Terry and I. In race number 8, I have the 7 horse with all of that speed, hopefully going wire to wire. No more bets for races 9 and 10. Again, we'll timestamp every race here on the description on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, follow along with what we do. Terry, that's it for today. We'll get ready for Gulfstream Park tomorrow. Thank you, Don Johnson, for joining us as you do every day. In his name and honor is why we have the Don Johnson pick 4s. All right, Terry, before we get out of here, any final words of wisdom from you on an otherwise long, terrific Terry Tuesday?
Yeah, my heart goes out to the people that have been experiencing that terrible weather with the tornadoes and that in the east, Midwest. And we don't usually have tornadoes here in California, but I see this morning's news up north. They've got 2 or 3 of them, but of course they're throwing stuff around. They're not as bad as the ones in the Midwest.
Midwest, yeah.
Yeah. But I just want everybody to stay safe, and I hope things go well for you the rest of the week, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Indeed, we'll be back tomorrow. No matter what you're doing today, picking up the pieces after, a terrible or Mother Nature wreaking havoc, we certainly hope that you have God's grace, God's favor, and that everything you do, despite some of the hardships that life can bring, we all know we've experienced those, that no matter what, at the end of the day, everything ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. We'll see you tomorrow in sunny South Florida for Gulfstream Park. Got to press the right button to say goodbye, Terry. That's this one.